Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have another PvP to bring you here for the ESL Pro Tour Europe Weekly Cup. In the bottom left, representing Team Liquid, we have Harstem. And in the top right, we have the red Protoss player. He is Skillous. Definitely getting a good amount of PvPs up in this bracket. Interested to see what ends up happening. We just got to see Skillous do a little bit of a dunk, a Dankishin dunk on a dude, I guess. I don't know. It's fantastic. Well, life's good, man. Life's really good. Been really fun to come out here and be able to commentate some more StarCraft for you guys. I've been really looking forward to this. Actually, I was really hoping that last week's Europe Cup could be the first stream back after the move. For anybody that's missed out on any current event type stuff, well, obviously outside of the insane current events happening in my country, Nathanias just moved. I'm out of LA. I got an apartment. I got a fantastic, really nice apartment in Las Vegas. I have fiber internet, so the uploads for these videos are going to be coming in really easily now. As you guys know, I really stress having high quality broadcasts and high quality video and everything for you, so that if you are watching this in your spare time or whatever, you know that you're getting the best experience that I can physically offer you. So with that being said, I've got fiber internet now. Someone was asking about that. I've got 1,000 up, 1,000 down. So uploading stuff is super easy. Streaming is super easy. My ping for casting, my ping for playing, super tight now. And also, someone was curious. Yeah, I'm getting it for $60 a month. Isn't that weird? In like the 6 places in the United States that offer fiber internet, it's like literally half the price of cable. I was paying $140 a month for 1,000 down and 40 up when I lived in LA. And now I'm paying less than half of that for 1,000 down and 1,000 up. And it works very well. I've been very, very happy with the service so far. So life is good. Life is good. And we've got lots of StarCraft to bring you today. We're still in the early stages of the tournament. Usually these boys go for quite a few hours. And I think we've only been live for 2.5. So plenty more games to come. Probe Scout for Harstem is going to get killed. And I want to point out something interesting. Harstem drops a pylon here. And it's kind of like nowhere, right? Like the pylon's kind of in a random spot. But this kind of comes back to the PvP matches that we were watching earlier. And what Harstem wants Skillous to think with a scout is that he's proxying him. Now, Skillous did not probe scout. So he didn't really know. And Harstem also didn't probe scout. He's kind of just sent the stalker around looking for proxies. But there are no proxies in this particular PvP matchup. Not in this game. Not in this singular map. So that's definitely nice. The only reason you would put this pylon here for Harstem is you're hoping that Skillous would send a probe scout, and then he'd see that there's only one pylon in your main base. For reference, if you only have one pylon as a Protoss player, you're supply capped at 23, which means you actually can't have a fully saturated mineral line. You can't have a fully saturated base and any other units if you only have one pylon. So, because you could only have 23 probes, right? And that would be just enough to almost saturate your main base. So Protoss players keep their eyes on what units they have, where the pylons are, how many pylons there are. Is the second pylon late? Does it look like he was supply blocked, or is it because the pylon was somewhere else, right? There's lots of things you have to keep in mind in PvP, especially because we've seen tons of proxy shenanigans. We've seen proxy robos, proxy stargates. We had a game where Showtime was being contained on one base with 7 immortals. There were 7 immortals in a warp prism outside of his base, and his opponent had a natural, and Showtime still managed to claw back. Honestly, I don't know how the he did that, but that was pretty sweet. So PvP can be very volatile. It can be very difficult, very stressful. Honestly, the new season is supposed to start soon, so I'm kind of curious how the changes that they're trying to implement. I can't actually recall, but I believe that they are going to try and stick with that shield battery overcharge ability to some degree. I need to double check stuff. Unfortunately, it took me a while to get my internet set up, so I've actually been out of the loop on a lot of things. I didn't have internet for 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to try to get back to streaming and casting. So I haven't been able to follow a lot of the developments in the scene. I got my internet back basically the day of the GSL finals, and I did watch that. GSL finals were awesome. If you haven't seen them, what are you doing? You've had days. So Skillous is going to send that hallucinated Phoenix Scout. He wants a follow-up. He wants to read what's going on here. Harstem's going to go Blink +1. Nothing too wild here. I mean, Blink Stalkers, a lot of versatility, lots of power. And look at that. Oh my God, the pylon. Nathanias, you don't know how to cast. I knew he was going to put a Dark Shrine there when he built his second pylon there in the first place. You crazy son beast. But yeah. Yeah. So he's got this pylon as kind of a spotter. He's going to drop a third Nexus behind this Dark Shrine? That's wild. Okay, well, Charge and +1 are coming in for Skillous. He's got an Observer out. I was going to say, he has a Prism with 2 Immortals in it. I don't know. This could actually get pretty dicey for Harstem if he doesn't control well, because he's going to be counting on those DTs to do a lot of damage. You're giving up a lot to do that, and he can make Archons with them, but because he's going for Blink, it's still pretty far away. Oh my God, the Immortals might deny the Blink. The Immortals might deny the Blink. Oh. Yeah, but without Charge, fighting a Charge Lot army without your own is really, really hard. He's going to try to save the Immortals. Oh, oh! The Probe got it. I think the Probe got the Immortal. Holy, I can't handle this. This is a lot of stress. So he picks up that Immortal, scoots off to the right side. What a game. Okay, how many Observers does he have? Just the one. He just has this Observer over here. Did he send the DTs in yet? No. Is he going to send DTs in? These are the questions that we need answers to. I mean, he was kind of warping in units to defend himself, right? So it's not that crazy to think that could still be something that ends up being late. But his third Nexus was really early too. Now, if he was able to use DTs somehow in this attack, that would be massive. If he could snipe the opposing Observer, I would literally myself live on air. But unfortunately, it looks like Harstem's Observer will be the one to die, as he does spot the enemy army. Maybe it really would be. I mean, because Blink was so late. The Blink got delayed by that pylon being shut down. If he had been able to just snipe that Observer and then you just boop, boop, warp a couple DTs in, I would have loved to see it. I would have loved to see it. So the first DT is going to get warped in. He must kill that Observer, though, or it's going to do jack squat. As he pulls back, his Observer goes. He gets one hit off on it, but it's not enough. And I believe his own Observer has died there, so the DTs are going to be completely useless for Harstem. He's being forced on his back foot, and this is what I was talking about. He doesn't have Charge. Now, he did get a Prism inside the main base. Upskillous, he's got a 1 DT going for the natural, 1 DT going for the main base. Nothing on a third, and he's definitely going to lose his own third of these Zealots. Yeah, no, he just taps out. Skillous able to take the first game in this best of 3. Well done. I think that was game 1. It is totally possible that was game 2. However, oh wait, it's 0-1. So I think Skillous just tied it. Okay, I actually didn't see, but they were talking about it in the lobby before the game started. I did not see it because I was reading chat. Well, that's normal for Nathanias. I'm a one-man production wrecking crew. Until I can teach my golden retriever to do the observing for the broadcast. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot else I can do. Bow, now, now, now. All right, I'm gonna wait for that lobby link to join up and get going. All right, we got the lobby for, I guess this will be game 3 then. So it looks like Harstem won game 1, Skillous just won game 2, and we're about to jump into game number 3 of this Protoss versus Protoss series. I think the most expensive parts of custom loops, though, for PC cooling is like, if you have like a good GPU plates can be really expensive. Getting a water block for a graphics card can be a pain in the ass to install as well if you don't purchase it like that. But I mean, water blocks for GPUs are usually very expensive. Anyway, we're in the next game. Hi, I'm Nathanias. We're back. We're in game 3.
Who goes on? Who will be defeated? Let's find out.
In the top left, it's Harstem. In the right middle, it's Skillous. Relatively speaking, he would be on the bottom right, though. So it's still appropriate to say that. Now, we are playing on Purity and Industry, a map that is obsolete, really. It's not in the next season. It got taken out of GSL. It was so bad. And not to say necessarily bad. It certainly has some fun games on it, but it's a weird one. Personally, I can't say that I've enjoyed playing on it too much, even as a Terran player. It's just, you get just too much weird stuff ends up happening on this map. So this is going to be probably one of the last times you're going to see people playing on this map during the cups today. So let's enjoy ourselves. Maybe something fun will happen. Maybe nothing interesting will happen. Maybe both players will rush a warp prism and bring a probe to the island. Maybe they'll both bring 8 probes and have a probe off. And it'll be warp prism micro of probes versus probes. I don't know. After everything that's happened this year, I wouldn't be surprised. So we've got Skillous with his probe kind of going on the roundabout. He's heading here. I guess is he going to proxy? Is he looking for a proxy? Is this where he usually gets proxied? And he's on the hunt. He's on the hunt. He wants to know what's going on. Now, Harstem does save himself a little bit of money by not sending a probe out to scout, but it's really an insignificant amount, as you can see, right? It ends up, they both basically have the same amount of money. So at the end of the day, it's all Gucci. So we have the cyber cores finishing for both players. What's it going to be? Snake, Stargates, and what you going to do, Skillous? What you going to do? He jumps it. Okay, so he starts 2 Stalkers and Chrono's Warp Gate. So he's not going for a fast tech play. He might actually expand here. Puts down a pylon in the natural. So Harstem is going to be taking a little bit more of the aggressive approach. Now, with the Stargate, as you've seen several times before, a couple of Stalkers easily hold back an Oracle. And look at that. He sends another probe. He is really trying to dot his lowercase j's, as they say. While Harstem is not going to do any scouting at all until the Stalkers are done. He's going to run into this probe. The funny thing about seeing the probe here is he might think he's getting proxied now, which I do find quite funny. Because he might be like, why is the probe there of all places, right? Do I need to just check everywhere? And then, uh-oh, the length of sight block. You can't see through those gassy vents. And he might lose his first Stalker. Oh, Harstem loses that. And this is actually really frustrating because he needs to get this one back to his natural. He could get cut off. Oh, he doesn't have other units on the way. Oh, yeah. Skillous knows. He's on the hunt. He's hungry. Swiggity, smooty. I'm coming for the booty. All right, so that one gets pushed back. Now, it does have to regen some shields. There's a probe in the natural. While an Oracle goes across, we have a shield battery on the way, but there are actually no units here. 2 Stalkers are about to finish, but he might have some time to get a couple of probe kills before they can come over and help. So there you go. You get the Oracle in that main base. Focus as many probes as you can. He's got the Stalkers that are out, but they were rallied out a little bit, so it does take some time for them to get there. And he is, oh, not focus firing, though. That's, yeah, Oracle dies, but at the end of the day, he still has the Stalkers to deal with at the front of his base. He has pulled probes to try and defend this. He did start the Nexus, and it will take some time for 4 Stalkers to kill it. He could try to poke down that very low health one. I think that's what you want to do. And actually, with these gates finishing, he could definitely even up the Stalker count. And since he has more hit points on his, I do think he could save this base, but he doesn't have enough money for a 4th Stalker. He just gets a 3rd and a Zealot. So the Zealot can tank a lot of the damage, though, and it can help even the odds. I mean, Harstem's Stalkers have full hit points, but 2 Adepts somehow squeeze into this base. I don't even know. Oh, the Prism. Skillous got a Prism out in the middle of all of this and squeezed the Adepts into the main base. So Harstem is taking a beating now. He does kill another one of the Stalkers, but he is just outnumbered. There's way too many forces here. And he's actually not mining gas anymore, trying to get his resource count back up. The Oracle is here. It is out of energy. It spent its energy trying to deal with the Prism. It did kill the Adepts, but here's the problem. He's trying to hold the top side of this ramp. He doesn't have a shield battery. He doesn't have an Immortal. And his Stalkers are blocked. Oh my God, he blocked himself from being able to build it. Skillous takes the series 2-1. Ay, 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 ay. Wow, that's a tough loss. Well played, and we'll try to get into our next match as soon as we can, ladies and gentlemen.